If you want it to be easy and natural to close high ticket items, then watch this video until the end. I'm Amy Walker and I help business owners be able to learn the business skills that they need and still maintain balance in their lives. Today I'm going to give you 7 ways to sell high ticket items and learn to make that big ticket sale. So for all the tips that you need to grow your business while maintaining life balance, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and click that bell so you can get notified every time a new video comes out on Tuesdays. I know that you want to close more high ticket deals and I want that for you, and I want to tell you it's not as hard as you think. So it actually takes the same amount of time and energy to close a $10 product as it does to close a $10K product if you have the right steps. So I'm going to show you the 7 steps that it takes. When I learned these skills, my average ticket price was about $200. Within about a 30-day window, it went over $2,500 for my average ticket price. That was pretty cool. And I've done this with many of my clients. To date, I have closed over 6-figure deals multiple times. My clients are doing it as well, and I know these 7 steps are going to work for you too. All right, we are closing high ticket items today, and we are teaching you all the skills you know to close the big deals. So before we jump in, I would love to hear from you. What's your number one challenge when it comes to closing the big deal? Go ahead and post it in the comments, and I'm happy to answer those questions for you, as well as maybe make some future content. So let's jump into our 7 steps. Step number 1 is when you're selling a high ticket item, it takes the mind a while to warm up to the idea of spending a lot of money. So it's critical that you start seeding from the very beginning. So the beginning of the phone call, the beginning of the webinar, the beginning of the presentation, the very first time that they dip their toe into your funnel, you want to be seeding for the fact that there's more to come and that there will be an offer. When I am in a presentation and I'm offering, or when I'm on a phone call, I'm always going to let them know at the very beginning that there will be an offer at the end. It's not a high pressure sales plug. It's just something like, great, well, what we're going to do today is first, I'm going to analyze your business and ask a lot of questions to find out where you're at. Second thing I'll do is help you map out your action plan. And then third, if it looks like we could be a good fit, I'd love to share with you how I can help you with some of these things. That's it. Pretty simple. So start seeding from the very beginning, letting people know there will be an offer coming down the pipeline. It's important. Step number 2 is if you want to sell a high ticket item, you need to sell it in a high touch environment, high relationship environment. One of the things I think people get off track with is that they love their technology and they want to just be a little hands off in the sales process. So they think, I'll just build the funnel. I'll create the free thing. They'll run through my funnel. Then they're going to pop out the other end, a 10K client. And that's not exactly how 10K clients are built. They're built through relationships. So your funnels support the relationships. The high tech supports the high touch, but we can't lose sight of the high touch. There's only a few high touch environments in which to sell, which means high relationships. So phone calls, in person, webinar with then scheduling a phone call. I'm not saying nobody does it, but very few people actually close a 10K at the end of a webinar. Live events, classes, workshops. You're going to want to get people to that point, and your funnel can absolutely help you get them to that point where you can have the high touch experience in order to be able to close those high ticket items. But the right environment is critical. You're not going to pop up a Facebook ad and offer a 10K product and all of a sudden have people buy. It just doesn't work that way. Tip number 3, you're going to get rid of the obstacles early on in the process. So there will be obstacles, there will be objections, there will be things like, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough time, I don't trust myself, I've tried other things before and they didn't work for me then, so I don't have faith that this will work for me now. All that stuff happens. Those are just normal obstacles and objections that happen in the sales process. Little hint, they actually have nothing to do with you or your product or your service. Those are the obstacles that stand in their way in their life. So what we want to do is start moving those out of the way early on in the sales conversation. So we can tell stories that bring those out. We can ask questions that will bring those objections out, and we can work through them earlier on. and we're going to try to do whatever we can to get those to come up. When you're speaking to a group, you can just straight out call them out and say things like, you know what's crazy is when people tell me XYZ and you show them why that is crazy. Legitimately, it doesn't make any sense. But in their mind, they're like, oh yeah, that is crazy. I'm not going to be like that. And it just moves those objections out of the way before you get to the point of closing the deal. If the first time that objection has come up is when you're asking for them to write the check and sign the contract, it's going to be harder to close the deal. Whereas if that has come up in conversation earlier, it's going to be a whole lot easier. We like easy. All right, tip number 4 is actually my personal weakness. I am such a details girl. I love the details. I'm the kind of person that when I find a new product that looks interesting, I turn it around and I read the label and I see everything that's in the label. And most people don't purchase that way. So tip number 4 is that we've got to focus on benefits over deliverables. Benefits over deliverables. Benefits are the outcome. What is this going to produce for them? What are the results? Why should they do it? What's in it for them? The tangible and the intangible. We need to tell that story and speak to what they're going to get at the end of this in order for them to be willing to make a high level investment. If you're making a high price investment, guess what you've got to have? A high price reward. And if you aren't painting the picture of that, what they will feel is that it's too expensive for what they're going to get out of it. So we have to really sell the benefits. Which leads me to tip number 5. I do love the deliverables, and you do have to be clear on the deliverables. Nothing makes a detail person more crazy than you just telling them it's going to create this result and this thing, and it's going to be like this, and it'll be amazing, and you're going to love it, and you're going to be free and financially fit and skinny and all this stuff. And you're like, but what are we doing? Like, how is it going to happen? How many calls do I get? How much of this do I get? What's my number of product SKUs? I mean, like, they need the details. So it's a balance between being really focused on those benefits, but also being really clear in exactly what they get, because you need both. Even the detail people, if you just tell me a list of details, even though I think that's all I need, the reality is I'm still making a decision based on how I feel about those details. So if you haven't spoken to my emotions and spoken to my desire and the outcome I'm trying to produce, then that's not going to connect even if you have really clear deliverables. Can we please, for the love of everything, stop selling these pie in the sky dreams without any details on how we're going to get you there? I personally find it a huge turnoff in the sales process, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of you do too. So actually in the comments, this would be a really interesting little survey. If you are like all about give me the benefits, write in benefits, and if you are all about no, I want the deliverables, type in deliverables. Let's just take survey, because there is definitely more than one type of person in the world. All right, we are now on to step number 6, and this is creating an irresistible offer. People will pay large amounts of money frequently. It happens all the time. Think about the automobile industry. That's a lot of money that people pay. In my particular industry, people frequently purchase large ticket items because they have big problems. They need a big solution. And you need to make sure that you make the offer seem irresistible. So how do you do that? Number 1 is in the benefits and those deliverables. We've already talked about that. But number 2, part of that is going to be your bonuses. How do you stack the offer so that it looks like you're getting a $120,000 value, but you just happen to be getting it for $60K? Or it looks like you're getting a $30 value, but you're going to get it today for $10K. Now, I'm not a big fan of the infomercial feel where it's like, you see the offer and you just wait because it's, but wait, there's more. Today only, you're going to get this thrown in. And but wait, there's more. You're going to get this. I don't want it to feel cheesy. I don't want it to feel insincere, but I do want you to be very conscientious about the value. So one of my clients recently went and spoke at an event where he said, I want you to come to my event. Here's all the things that we do at my event. But as I was thinking about this particular group, I thought, well, what else are you going to need to know? Well, you're also going to need this. And so I took this program and I put that in for free. What else are you going to need to get? You're also going to need help with this problem. So I have a program for that, and I'm going to put that in and give that to you as a gift. And he just went and he stacked the offer to the point where it was a really irresistible offer. And out of the purchasing units that were available in that room, he closed like 75% of available purchasing units. Now, some people were like a spouse of the purchasing unit, or they weren't his ideal client. So I'm not saying 75% of the room, but about 75% of the buying units. That's awesome. And that comes because he made that offer look irresistible. So what's the difference between the schmaltzy, but wait, there's more, and the irresistible offer? I think part of it is sincerity. Those added bonuses that he brought in, those actually have a retail value associated with it, and they can actually buy that on his website. Now, they didn't cost a lot for him to give away because they're products and programs that he's already created. So he's packaging in his own things, and you do want to make sure that that offer is not going to be something that's like you don't want to go in the hole when you sell a product. So, but they're real products, they're real services that he offers, they're real valuable, tangible things that he can throw in. They're not just some like little, garbagey thing that we decided to throw in so that we could pretend that our offer was worth more. They're also not things like a blog post that you're now saying is worth $1 million. So be realistic when you stack your offer and when you create that irresistible offer, because people will see through something that is insincere or over inflated. Use legit pricing, use legit products and services to stack that offer and make it absolutely irresistible. So everybody's like, that's what I need. That's what I want. Let's go get it. All right, tip number 7, our final tip for those high ticket offers and closing those big ticket sales is you need to have a limitation when you do your call to action. So a call to action is when you say, all right, let's do this. Would you like to work with me? I'd love to work with you. Go ahead and stand up, move to the back of the room. Let's get you enrolled. Whatever it is, when you say it's time to move, there needs to be a limitation, because what happens is people, when it's a big decision, they want to take big time. And the longer that people stay in indecision, the less likely that they are to do business with you. I actually really hate being in indecision. I think it's such an expensive place to be because your time and energy is not spent moving forward, it's spent moving side to side. So I like to do myself and my clients a favor by helping them not stay in indecision for a long period of time. Now, I'm not saying that high ticket deals are always closed on the spot like that. A lot of times they're not. But I want to minimize how long they stay in indecision and cause them to actually think about it. Even the biggest decisions get made in short periods of time. Think about this. Let's be honest with each other. The last time you had to make a big decision and you gave yourself 2 weeks to make that big decision, how much of that was proactive research deciding time versus how much of it was just putting it off so you didn't have to think about it for a little while? Am I right? I think I'm right. Most of that time is inactive. They're not actually making a decision. They're just avoiding thinking about the decision. So if they need a little more time, great. It's a big purchase. We want them to feel really good about it. We just want to get rid of all of that wasted, let me avoid thinking about it time. So what we're going to do is we're going to put on a limitation. That means it could be like, I'm only taking on 10 clients at this price point, or there's only 5 spots left, or I'll hold this price open for you until the end of the month. I currently have an offer out, and it's a great offer. I hope they'll say yes, but that offer is only available until a specific date, and then they know that the offer's off the table and the price is going up from there. And those limitations, what we're doing there is we're trying to get them to actually dig in and decide if it's right for them. A limitation, and you can write this down, this is important. A limitation is not going to make someone buy something that doesn't want to. It's not going to do that. It's not a magic bean, right? What a limitation is going to do is it's going to cut down all of that indecision time where you honestly just lose the people who really did want to move forward with you. So those are your 7 ways to sell the high ticket item and close those big purchases. Every single one of those is going to be a game changer. So dig in, put them to use, and start building your confidence in closing those high ticket items. Also, if you want to join our community of business owners just like you who are trying to grow their business while at the same time maintaining balance, make sure that you join our private community. I jump in weekly and do live Q&As. We post lots of great content. It's a great place for engagement, and we'd love to see you there. If you like this video, I would love your support and leaving me a comment, liking it, and please share it with anyone in your network that you feel could also benefit from getting more confident and closing those high ticket sales. Now, if confidence is part of the issue, which oftentimes it is, I have a free ebook that you can download that is going to help you build your confidence in your sales process. So make sure you look in the comments and go ahead and download that free ebook. All right, that's it for today. Like, comment, subscribe, join the group, get the free ebook. I can't wait to see you again next week when we bring you some more great content.